A lot of people want to do change for their community, and they've always had it on their mind. They have a heart of gold, and they're saying, you know, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to help my people or the community and give back whatever we're doing to volunteer, but they don't do anything. It's your coach Jackie, and I'm your host for the Awaken Greatness podcast, which drives the Awaken Greatness Movement. Now, the Awaken Greatness Movement is here to create pathways for our people to awaken the God-given power within every person, every community, so they can rise above pain and generational chains, and they can live their best life, their extraordinary life that's meant for them. I believe everyone is born with a purpose, and they can literally live out their best life when we help them unleash that inner greatness. In the past, I've seen programs just roll up when I was young. You know, youth centers, the hubs, programs, all these stuff that were just coming into the area, into the communities, but they all failed. Like, the reason why I know they all failed, because everyone that I grew up with still haven't achieved any developing. Some of them are in jail, some of them committed suicide. So the reason why is because they removed people off the streets but didn't heal the roots. Now I'll give you an example. If I pull off this flower right here and I remove it, I still haven't completely fixed the problem, because the root is still there, and the root will always come back up and grow that flower again. Number two, there was no trust, because no one who spoke to us, no one who was so-called mentors actually lived the life that we lived. They were just a worker or someone that got approved to be an employee of that program, and they were the ones that were coming in as mentors. So no one actually lived it. And you know what? Us sitting there, always playing or going in and out of the facility, you could feel it, because there was no real feeling like how I give the people that feeling right now. I grew up here. I know what these people are. I know what these people live, and in their heart, they all want better, but they just misguided. This system wasn't created for us. Trauma doesn't end when funding ends. My goal with Awaken Greatness is to be here long after I'm here, to leave the world better than I found it, and to be a legacy. I know every community here in Australia and beyond, in every nation, will end up having this. Lived experience works the best. You need someone that has lived there and proven that they have made it out very successful, and they can also help you duplicate it so you can also experience that life. A lot of times you hear mentors talk, but no one has actually experienced it. Now that's the same reason why programs that come into the communities don't work, because they're not lived experience by people that actually live. Do you live in Claymore? Do you live in Macquarie Fields? Do you live in Mount Druitt? Do you live in Tregear? Do you live in these areas? Yes, I did. I grew up in these areas. In 7 years, I have not went out to a party. I've not done anything else, smoke, drink, drugs. I've just focused on that one goal and continue, and now it led me here. I went from dominating the fitness industry to competing bodybuilding, where I was told I couldn't. I had a successful coaching business. I was told I couldn't. Now I'm here to help my people go through that pathway and create pathways where it doesn't only have to be limited to fitness. Whatever pathway you want, there's a person and a guidance that can lead you there. I know there's been many other programs, and no one has targeted the root cause, going back to trauma, going back to pain, going back to helping reshape their mind. Why do they think like that? Why do people continue to hold on to these pains and their lives never change? So I'm here to give you the principles, the resources, everything you need to shift that paradigm and to help you move forward. And you know what? If you're happy where you are, your kids deserve it. You don't want to do it for yourself, do it for them. Do it for the next generation. Do it for your grandkids' kids. You can have all the success in the world, which is great. The ultimate level of success to me is fulfillment. When I started my entrepreneurial journey, I always knew that the movement was going to be there right from the beginning, because I knew I wanted to change the way my area was, my community was. I just looked at it and it made me upset every day that no one is living out their full potential. I just see people dropping. I see people iced up. I see people in jail. I see people killing themselves. I just see this all around, and I'm like, why? The system has failed us, but that can't be a reason why we can't change. There has to be someone out there, and I believe that God put me here for that. And last but not least, I was one of the youth, and I needed a voice. not a system. So I'm that voice for you. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we leave this world better than we found it for the next generation. And a charity all comes together. We have to do what we can right now. So I'm just putting out a humble request. If you're able to help in any sort of way, we would really do appreciate it. I have some leaders and mentors who are offering to donate, but whatever you can, we're very grateful. Just PM me and we'll put that down and we'll make something happen. Now I'll be very clear, this is not for Coach Jack. This is not for anything else. This goes straight to the people that need it the most. And your life will be a lot more blessed. We all would be a lot more blessed. This will be long after we're gone. Thank you for helping. Found some notes on my phone, and hopefully this is a good subject so people can understand why the Awaken Greatness Movement is very important. I wrote some notes down, going back to previous programs that have been done and how they haven't worked. Get them off the streets, but they didn't heal the roots. Wow. Pull out a tree, but you have to make sure that you understand that there's still roots down there that has to be removed. Now, how do you remove the roots? The roots must be removed by understanding that these kids have trauma, that these kids have certain belief systems that's been instilled into them. They have to shift their paradigm. Their subconscious mind is filled with programming. So all this stuff is the reason why people are stuck where they are. Once I realized that everything was actually opposite, like you have to think yourself abundant, you have to stay positive, you have to network. No real connection means the people that ran these programs were basically just employees who never lived in the area or understood the culture and how we grew up, the thinking of how we grew up. So you wouldn't know how it's like to change someone if you haven't been part of that culture. I do know because I was once one of these people. And then I ventured out and I started to learn how to be better. I started to study, I started to go to seminars, I started to do everything that's required to be successful. Now I'm back to help people, guide them and create that pathway I'm back to get my people. That's basically it, to help them out, to help them live in abundance, a victorious life. Programs came and went, but the pain stayed. When it comes to programs, you can feel intention. You can feel the people that are in your environment. You can feel them that are in your community for a real reason, that they want you to break through. You can feel that shit. So what does work? Wow. Lived experience leaders. So you have to make sure that you live there. You understand this culture. You understand everything about it. And that's the way you can change it, because you know both sides. Like, I know the sides of business, of successful entrepreneurs, of networking. I know that side because I studied it the last 7 years with an obsession. I know this side too because that's where I grew up without even wanting to understand it. I was in it because I knew it. Everyone around me was it. That's all we knew. So I know both. And that's what qualifies me to help people. I was also a drunk. I was also an alcoholic, on drugs and everything. You name it, I was on it all. But that's what qualifies me to now come and get the people and help them create that pathway. So they can, they want to be business owners, and they want to be business owners. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to live that life where they can chill and go play golf and just go to the beach, how I do, whatever you want. They want to do that. But you know what? There's that program that's around them, whether it's their loved ones or their community, that's also saying to them, drop off spot. And for this week and next week we're gonna document the journey and we're gonna give it to a family. It starts from one, and then as you go on and people continue to see what you do, and other resources that can help you big. You wanna give a hand. This is a huge cause, and your name will come down as history books as the one who joined the movement that changed humanity. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Let's go. I just finished recording episode 4. Look at that, the flow always goes. Episode 4, and we'll continue to go. This movement is bigger than me. There's a lot to go, there's a lot to do, but I'm happy that you can join this journey, and whenever you want, feel free to contribute. We're very grateful. Let's go. Action is everything, and that's gonna be the thing that determines who you are and what type of legacy you're leaving. And I knew, regardless of what's happening in this world, that I wanted to be that person that not only say something, and I've always had the vision to give back to the community, but do it. So you need a front runner, and I'm always being a front runner in everything I do. I'm someone that was told you couldn't be, so now I'm here to teach you. And you know what? You have some greatness kids that are there. Let them through the right way. Let me help them. Let me help them, guide them to be great. Tell them to do something good.